Good morning, everyone. Darcy here, Shadow Dancer. Hope you're all doing well. I wanted to come on and talk about the energies. I'm always going to give some shout outs where I can to the people that I listen to because, man, during some really tough times on my path, when I had no one in my physical reality to talk to or connect with, listening to their videos and connecting to what they said was gold. They were the friends in my life and they didn't even know it. Like, dear friends. I think I had 5 people I listened to on YouTube that really were like my lifeline at certain times. They shared information. I couldn't go to my family about my awakening. I couldn't go to the partner I was with at the time about anything. He was so frustrated with me and thought I was losing it. And so I was very alone. So it's a channel called Leela Rasa Healing. And it's a gentleman called Timothy. Now he's a little off the cuff. I love him because he's just very genuine and authentic, and I'm loving that. And I'm gonna touch on that here in a second. But he has some videos where he gets downright into like his shadow aspects, and he gets downright into his darker viewpoints on everything. And I'm not gonna say negative, but it's just genuine, you know, it's real. And that's refreshing, honestly, because I think way too much love and light it just gets sugar-coated. Everything's sugar-coated and it's too sweet, and that's not genuine and authentic. You know, we have different levels of our reality. We have different levels of being. So, and Timothy recognizes that, and he honors that, and he's true to that. So, yeah, Rasa Leela Healing. He's an astrologist, and he's a different kind of astrologist. I'm not quite sure what vein he practices, but he's very good at what he does. If you're into astrology and you want to hear his take on what he reads with the planets and the stars, listen to his videos a couple times. The very first time I listened to him, I was slightly turned off because of his absolute, complete, unbridled honesty about what he feels and thinks. But after a second, I thought, you know, I really respect this guy, and it's refreshing. He's just saying how he feels, and he's got some valid points. And I think in a world with in a community, the spiritual community, the New Age community, which that's a whole rabbit hole in and of itself we won't get into now. Sometimes things can get a little too spiritual, bypassing New Age, love and light only, you know, good morning, good morning, good morning, you know, smiling all the time. And it can make people feel like if they're not there, that somehow they're failing. It can make people feel that if they're not there, that somehow they're not spiritual, or they're really not on the spiritual path. And there's nothing that could be further from the truth. And that is one of the illusions that I'm hoping to bust with my channel as well, because it makes me angry. It makes me angry because I can't tell you how many times I have felt to be less than, because I was in a group of people, and bless their hearts, lovely people, whether they were genuinely feeling his energies or not, they were writing the beautiful, oh, you know, I'm the creator of my reality, which we are. But they were in a space where I almost feel like they were in very much their spiritual ego, where I feel like they were pushing that on others and looking down their noses at others because of the energy they were writing. And I will say, I believe that humility is such an important aspect of this path. You have to stay humble. You're going to get those influxes of light. You're going to get those influxes and that connection to the divine where you're like, yeah, I am connected to the divine. I am divine. I am the creator of my reality. Wow, this is amazing. And it can really go to your head. It can go to your head, and it isolates people, honestly. I had somebody tell me, and as my channel progresses and I share more stories, you'd be surprised at some of the stuff that I share. It's pretty intense for those of you out there that might be going through the same stuff. But I shared some of my stuff with this person, and this person just looked horrified, and this person claimed to be on a very deep spiritual path, and my experiences were supernatural. And they were also having to do with the deep state in our matrix, some things I had been through that are only talked about, but some, you know, you never really think that it really happens to people, but it happened to me. And I shared it with this person, and this person basically threw it back on me and said, you know, well, you have a lot of negative energy around you. And I thought, wow, that's such a throwback. And I hear that a lot. Like, if the people on the spiritual path or the New Age path cannot handle the truth and the reality of the fact that we live in a reality of polarity. We just do, and there's lots of shades of gray. Isis herself, if any of you work with Isis is very dear to my heart. Isis Aset. She's a beautiful goddess of high priestess of Sirius, and she's connected to Egypt, but she's so much more than that. You know, she's not just a goddess from Egypt. She's so much more than that, but I digress. She, one of the points in the story of her was that Set, the dark god of the underworld, was about to destroy, was going to destroy, and everything was going to be dark. And, you know, he's constantly been in a battle with Ra, and Horus has been involved. And there was a point in the story where the light could have completely destroyed Set. That Ra and Horus could have completely destroyed Set, and she stepped in and stopped it. Why did she stop the light from destroying the darkness? She did this because she understood that if the darkness was completely destroyed, that creation and existence as we know it would end. You have to have contrast to give birth to ideas, to preferences, to reality. Everything exists because of a bounce back, a pushback. If there's just light, nothing exists. Okay, so having said that, this guy, Rasa Leela, Timothy, he mentioned something, I think it was around April, but he talked about Taurus has been in the North Node and Scorpio's been in the South Node. Okay, I'm Taurus. So it's been an intense 18, 19 months for me. And he was talking about how the bounce back in the polarities, the waves of energy that were going to come through are going to be intense. Like, you're going to feel really, really, really high and really on it, and then you're going to feel really, really low. And these polarities were going to intensify, but the pinging back and forth was going to kind of, you know, like a ping pong ball or something hits the sides of a pool table or something. I don't even know how to describe it, but like the bounce back, ding, 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 ding. So it was going to get faster and faster, hitting the polarities. And the point was to bring you to center. So the energies, I went through a really deep dark from January to like April, bleh. And I don't know if I'd call it dark night of the soul, but it was definitely an unplugging. And then I popped out of it and I found some light. And then there was a beautiful, about a few weeks ago, Jupiter entered Taurus and we went through a grand fixed cross. Now, a lot of astrologers have been talking about May being probably one of the most important months of this year, if not the most important month of this year. And I'm going to be dropping a lot of astrologers' names because, hey, I mean, we're all connected. The stars, the planets, everything, it affects us. It just does. And they all talk about May being the month of this year. And for me, it has been. There was like 2 weeks there where I got such a big influx of energy and light. I felt like a kid again, actually. And I had that reminiscent energy of when I was young and playful and creative and spontaneous. And I thought to myself, wow, I feel like I'm on an antidepressant. This is great. And I was riding that energy for a couple of weeks. And then yesterday and today I've been waking up and it's not there as much. And so the pinging back and forth, because it was like a few months in each energy, and then it was like a few weeks in each energy. And now it's kind of coming to the point for me where it's days. Like, I'll come back up again. I'll come back up again and then I'll drop again. I'll come back up again and I'll drop again. And Timothy talked about it coming to this midpoint where we're in our center and we're in our alignment. Because if you're too high energy and you're too wound up, that's destructive too. It's not productive, it's not honest. You know, we all know about being too low. So neither one is a good place to sustain for a long period of time. But the flushes and the purges energetically had to hit both extremes, and of course the pendulum has to balance out. So right now I'm feeling like I'm in a dip. If anybody else is feeling like they're in a dip and they just came out of a period where they felt really excited and really motivated and really light and hopeful about the future. I know a lot of people are coming up with ideas right now about changing careers, changing jobs, moving. A lot of us are at a threshold where we want to push through to something new. Now I'm going to keep hitting on this over and over and over again because I want to keep you up on it, and I want to push you, and I want to push myself, because we have been riding this hamster wheel, this Groundhog Day for so long. If you've been working a job for so many years or for so long and you're just done, like me, that's where I'm at. Waking up, doing the same thing, having the same conversations with people, taking the same actions every day, eating the same food, watching the same shows, and going to bed, that's not allowed anymore. It's just not. There was a Kali energy that came in, and she's somebody I actually consciously just started working with, and I'm exploring that. There was a Kali energy that came in the beginning of the year that was like, the things that don't work, the things that are keeping you stagnant, the things that are keeping you stuck, gotta go. They gotta go. And I see this in everybody around me, even the people who aren't, you know, on the awakening path. They're just feeling a deep unrest. Excuse me. There's also a lot of throat clearing happening right now. This past year, I've lost my voice a couple times, a lot of throat clearing, a lot of Alta Major chakra clearing, sinuses and ears, lots going on with the head, the kind of the dizziness and the feeling out of focus visually and mentally. That's going on a lot right now, but I notice the throat's clearing some more stuff. It's very important to speak with purpose and with focus, because your words are spelling. You are literally creating your universe by what you say. And I know that might sound foo-foo, but it's not. It's not. You have magic in your words, and there's potency in your words. And that's something that I'm being called really to work on right now too. And again, not to positive gloss everything, but to speak my truth. And that's part of the reason I've started this channel. So yeah, so there's my little bleh this morning. As I go on with these videos, I'll probably get a little more streamlined. I don't want to apologize for myself, though. That's one of the things that I'm not doing anymore. I just come on here and I just want to have a little chat over coffee in the morning. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, those are the energies that I'm feeling right now. And I felt a really good push and a really high vibrancy for a few weeks there. And now I kind of feel like I've been dropped down again. And I'm kind of making this video a little bit. So if there's any of you out there that are feeling that kind of a, man, I thought that I was entering the kingdom. I thought that I was moving towards what I wanted. I felt inspired. I felt motivated. And now I'm like, blah, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe it's, relax. It's going to happen. But, you know, nothing is a straight line. Growth is not a straight line. Making new things happen is not a straight line. Even birth. You know, women don't just have one push and the baby's out. There's several pushes with rests in between and breathing and catching her breath. And then there's another contraction. We went through a big contraction recently. Again, because we are in essence rebirthing ourselves. We're rebirthing ourselves and rebirthing our life. And there was a contraction recently, and it was beautiful. And I felt it. And I don't know if you felt it, but I felt so alive. And so I was listening to old songs I love, and I was dancing again and singing again. And this coming back into life part of my path right now is just absolutely beautiful. I don't know where you are on your ascension journey, but you know, these waves are going to come and go. They're going to come and go, and just hang in there, because it will come back. It will come back to the good stuff. But honor the downtime. And if your body's telling you to rest, rest. If your mind is telling you you need to unplug, unplug. That's one thing I've really learned on my path too. Like, if you've got to honor what's being called for. No matter what your mind says, no matter what you think or what the outside world is saying about you pushing yourself and, no, you got to do this and you got to do this or else, or else, or else. You are your own guru. You are your own authority. And you need to honor, if your body is saying, I need a day off work and I just need to rest and not be productive today, don't. Because if you keep pushing it, your body's going to make you take a rest. It's just the way it is. You have to honor it. You have to honor this beautiful, beautiful technology that we're inhabiting, and the path. And it's going to go in waves. It's never in a straight line. You know, or you could do, it's the spiral, right? So we're going to go around and come back to some old energies, and then we're going to feel good again, and woohoo! And then we're going to come back and be like, oh no, and then come back and woohoo! But that spiral gets tighter, and the lows get higher, and the highs get higher. And eventually there's a little bit more of a balance, and there's a steady consistency to the light that you find, and to the birthing. And when you have that last contraction and the baby's out, then there we go. Now it's starting a new life. And I really feel like that's where a lot of us are right now. We're having those contractions. So if you're in between contractions, hang in there. Give yourself some good food and drink lots of water and listen to some music. Music is one of my favorite medicines. I love music so much. Listen to some music that speaks to your soul. Music from back in the day that just made you feel alive when, you know, life was at its sweet point for you. You know, those songs that just light up your soul. Listen to some of those songs. Light a candle. Hug your pets. Take a walk in the park, and take a day or take a couple of days, and just don't worry about the work or the new project you're trying to push through, or what you're going to do with the matrix job you're wanting to walk away from, which a lot of us are doing that right now. Don't worry about it. Just move forward and rest, and that surge of energy will come again. It'll come again. I promise you. Life is for us. Everything is for us, and that's the beauty of this path. So beautiful. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed my rant about energies, and I'm with you. I'm with you always. We're all connected, and we might be in different stages of this journey, but it's nice to know you're not alone. You know, this is a ride, man. This is a ride. We came down for a really amazing, sorry, I get emotional. This time in human history is unbelievable. This is unbelievable when you think of the gravity of what's happening. Our DNA awakening, our DNA coming back online, receiving light codes from our cosmic brothers and sisters that love us so much. And I don't want to get too woo-woo for those of you out there that aren't there. We are rebirthing a new human through our own bodies, a new way of being, and the old constraints and prisons that held us back, that held us in kind of a robotic hamster wheel mode, are breaking off. They're crumbling, and we're here for this. I mean, it's beyond words. It's beyond words. And one of the things that I wish for these videos as I go along and I grow and I share with you, and I have an intent also to get into some of my books and share some of my books with you. I have a beautiful library. I might want to do some lives with some book shares. Just, you know, my tribe, my peeps out there, and the people that I listen to on YouTube that I love so much, you know, share their information with you, because I just believe in sharing the love. So yeah, Ross and Leela Healing, check him out. He's fantastic. It's a little different, but he's fantastic. And be easy with yourself, okay? Much love. See you soon.